Recording in progress.
Besides the fact that the process maybe was not properly followed to fire the board. If that is the case, is it not wise perhaps to pursue the the same line that you were pursuing, where you wanted the board to members to resign, given the fact that even though the process might not be correct, it was followed by the king, but the reasons are valid that the board does no longer, because the board does no longer enjoy the confidence of the king, and the reasons for that are valid. I'm done, Chair.
Oh, thank you. Is there any other person who would like to actually have a take on the discussion?
It's Mlindinana, Chairman.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Good morning, honorable members. Good morning to the minister and everybody else on the platform, and compliment.
Don't go.
Honorable Nana, we seem to have lost you.
Can you hear me, Chairman?
Oh, yes, we can hear you now.
Well, I don't know at what stage you lose me, but I greeted everyone and compliments of 2025.
Okay.
Chairman, mine really is a concern of the speed. Mute assist or host. Mine really is to raise my alarm at the speed at which things are developing in the Ingonyama Trust Board. And I would urge the committee to approach this matter with the same speed. Otherwise, we'll be caught napping. Now, I'm raising this, Chairman, because I wanted to check, and of course, I am sensitive to the royal protocols. You will know better how you guys in KZN do things. Is it possible that you write to His Majesty, not ask him to stop what he's doing, or rather ask him to hold back a bit until we get to meet him in the last week of January? I'm raising this, Chairman, because this seems to be a moving target. I mean, there are developments literally on a daily basis. By the time we get to our oversight in KZN, it's highly probable that things would have developed to a stage where we can't contain them, or we can't even propose solutions to the problems facing Ingonyama Transport. Having said that, I do second the sentiments raised by Honorable Madigizela. So really my intention is to check whether, as the committee under your stewardship, can you write to the King, just ask him to hold back on future actions until we have met with him. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Nana. Honorable members, I will recognize your hands if there are any. Is there anyone else who would like to actually make a contribution? There is a hand of Honorable Matthias.
Honorable Chair, thank you so much, and to yourself and
greetings to all. The New Year compliment to everyone. And greetings to the Minister and the DG. Look, the situation has reached a crisis point, and it needs sober minds going forward. It's unfortunate that things have got to a point where they are, and there would seem to be no willingness on the part of the king, at least so far, to hold back, as he firmly believes that he's got powers to dissolve the board, for which it is not true. He doesn't have such powers. Such powers are preserved and are reserved in the office of the minister. But at the same time, we may not want to bring the monarchy into disrepute by engaging through media with him and his office, and each time contradicting him through ourselves as a committee or through the minister or the ministry or the department. That situation of public contradiction or contradicting the king should be avoided by all means. And this is perhaps the first plea would want to make to the minister. But then secondly, we are not being briefed as to other reasons why the king has lost trust in the committee, in the board. I'm saying this because in the last meetings we had with the board, they presented to us a plethora of challenges. Amongst those was that the former chairperson, Judge Jerome Ngwenya, is running a parallel administration on the affairs of the Ngonyama Trust Board and the Ngonyama Trust broadly. Such affairs have been run from a place called Saxon World. We have not got to the bottom of these allegations, and we may not be sure whether these allegations have got something to do with the relations that have broken down between the king and the board. And perhaps it's only if the king can hold back from issuing statements and insisting on giving instruction to the lawyers that he has appointed, which the minister has correctly said that even the appointment is illegal. Perhaps the only option we have now is to ask either the chairperson of the committee, understanding the culture and the traditions and the protocols there, to write to the king, or alternatively, ask the minister to ask the president to intervene until such time that we got to the bottom of the matters, and either of the scenarios proposed by the minister to the committee, to the board, is considered. Either they resign on themselves, or the minister dissolve them, which those are the two feasible options. And they also must be asked to hold back from seeking mediation. They must be asked to hold back from seeking mediation. I think these would be my comments. And lastly, let's avoid to engage with the king publicly and contradict him, as that might appear as if we're bringing his office and the monarchy into disrepute. Thank you so much, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Matthias. Are there any other takers? Well, honorable members, I will recognize hands if there are any. May I actually ask Honorable Minister to actually respond to some of the comments made by the honorable members?
Chair. Thank you, Chair. Can I?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Let me thank the honorable members, and I agree with all of them that we have reached a stage of a crisis. Honorable Madikizela, the problem with all these accusations and counter accusations is that all of them are not written down. You meet the board, they would come up with accusations, including accusing the king. They would tell you that the king would want to run his own board with his own way, using the money, instructing them to buy a farm and so on. All those things, they are all not written down. Now you meet with the king, he would tell you that this board does not recognize me as the king, dissolve this board. Now it means my problem is that from the very first day, I realized that this board cannot work with the king. And then we had to follow all the processes, because even the board, I knew that the board was ready to challenge me if I tried to dissolve them. So we had to follow all the processes, the consultation as it stipulated in law. We had to consult the minister, the premier, all of them. We've consulted all of them. Now we're at a stage where we're about, honestly, to dissolve this board, because they can't work with this king. But also, Honorable Nana, I agree. Maybe the chairperson can also write to the king. As you can see, the letter from the DG, we've written to them. We've asked for an audience so that we resolve this matter once and for all. He has not yet responded, but I know he has received the correspondence. Now, also, Comrade Matthias, and congratulations on your election as part of the leadership of EFF. I agree with you. We just responded, explained the law, because at some point we were tempted not to respond at all. But I knew that there was going to be a question that said, where is the minister? And honestly, this department is not on autopilot. Somebody is driving it. We had to explain, because law is law. We even informed the media after 2-3 interviews that we're not going to take interviews anymore, because we don't want to talk past each other with the king. Well, we just wanted to explain the law and the process. And we stopped taking media interviews, because we really don't want to be involved in a media public spat with the king. But at the same time, no one is above the law. We must all respect the law. So I agree. Maybe we must write to him, or we must wait for him to explain, to respond to us, because he's getting out tomorrow. Because I know that we've also conducted the Prince Umntwana Usimpiwe, who is also talking on behalf of the king. We've also conducted him to say, once the king comes out of the seclusion, we are ready to meet with him. But lastly, on my side, the committee can give me guidance. When I look at all these allegations, I sincerely believe that maybe we need an investigation of some sort, whether it's just for 3 months, Honorable Chair and honorable members, maybe just for 3 months, and have, let me say, culturalists from KZN, people who understand Ingonyama. I'm just throwing it, maybe for 3 months, to investigate all these accusations and come with recommendations to us after 3 months, so that we take an informed decision, because the law says you must have sufficient reasons to dissolve the board. Now, you must have those sufficient reasons. Otherwise, if I decide to take the board on tomorrow, they will also challenge me, and will go to court, in and out of court. And for the next 3-4 years, we'll be fighting there, spending taxpayers' money. So I'm also really considering, if the committee agrees, that maybe we may have an investigation. 3, 4, 5 months, I'm not sure, it's up to you, comrades, just to look at all these accusations. We get people who understand these things, and also people who understand the law, and come to with recommendations. That's also one scenario we may follow if we agree. And with those words, members, thank you very much. I'll just get guidance from the committee. Otherwise, I'll be back in the country on the 22nd of January. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, the Minister has actually made a firm proposal here, in my view, that perhaps the matters that are at the center of this instability within the board. Someone needs to mute.
Chairperson Nandi.
Yes.
Dalani.
Yes. Okay. Honorable Dalani. Okay.
And thanks very much, and compliment for the new season, new year. I think I will agree, because once the minister speak, and then we don't have to take it into the discussions. But I will agree with the recommendations that he has came out with it, and that really let's stick to that one and give it for 3 months, and then from there they will give us the report. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, honorable members. Yes, I am not too sure whether we could actually quickly close the discussion around, on the proposal. I think we need to weigh all other options.
Chairperson, I do not know. I do not know whether it
actually made
You are breaking, Chair.
proposal that the matters be investigated. Actually feel that I need to write to actually we meet with him or whatever. No, our first proposal to invest on the table haven't been investigated, and Honorable Ndalane is actually proposing that the minister's proposal be accepted. I'm waiting to hear from other members.
Chair, my hand is up.
Mine is also up.
Honorable Nana.
Yeah, thanks, Chairman. Firstly, Chairman, I think you also need to come in on the proposal that the committee should consider asking you writing to the King, asking him to hold back. But secondly, Chairman, on the minister's proposal, in principle, I don't have issues with it. That could be a consequence of a process. I'm saying this because my concern, if we take such a resolution in this meeting, having not gone to KZN, having not met
Honorable Nana, are you still on the floor?
stakeholders, aggrieved parties to the dispute. Yes, I am, Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Chair, Chair.
I've lost you. Honorable Nana, you are breaking.
Guys, come back from Alice and Wanongoma
So
now.
much as I don't have an issue with the proposal by the minister, but my concern. Hello.
Your concern is, I lost you at that point.
No, my concern, Chairman, is that other parties to this dispute can accuse us of having had preconceived decisions on this matter, having not had all sides from relevant role players on this matter. So I'm saying what the minister is proposing can be something that can be considered after we have concluded our process as parliament. And I'm trying to avoid, in other words, us going to KZN already armed with a recommendation that there should be an investigation. But as I'm saying, in essence, I don't have a problem with the proposal, but I wouldn't want us to fall into a trap of being seen to be having a pre matter. Thanks, Chairperson.
Well, thank you, Honorable Nana. Honorable Matigizela, did you indicate your willingness to make a contribution?
Yes, no, Chair, I agree with Member Nine. I think this meeting was for us just to get a briefing from the minister as to where we are. And we are going to visit KZN in the next 2 weeks. And I think it gives us now an opportunity for us to engage other stakeholders from an informed position. So I don't want us to make any recommendations here. I think we can accept the report or the briefing from the minister, because I think Member Nana is correct. We don't want to really go there because this recommendation, might be communicated publicly. And we don't want to go there and limit our ability to engage everyone because people have this idea that we are leaning on one side or the other. So we don't want that. So I think let us accept this. And also, I agree that the chair, perhaps on behalf of the committee, can request His Majesty, um, for an engagement with us, and then request that he hold back a bit on other matters that they are pursuing until we have that engagement. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Matigizela. I wonder if the minister still want to have a take, to have something to say. Yes.
Chairman, good morning. Can we be allowed, please, just to make us input?
Oh, okay. I recognize the hand of, whose hand is that one?
Mine,
Is that
Adams.
Honorable Sylvia?
Yes, Chairperson.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Good morning. And unfortunately, I joined a little bit late because of network issues. But I had to travel about almost 50 kilos just to be part of you. But blessings for the new year. I just want to agree with those that said we have agreed that we need to have some information by the minister. We received the information and we really want to express our appreciation. Therefore, my proposal on that score will then be in agreeing with the previous speakers that said we should approach this with an open mind. So we will have the information at our disposal, but we will still continue with our own process to be able to be as objective as possible as an oversight body. But also there is something that is concerning to me, and that is the fact that I'm not sure now if there is issues of the board having problems with the king, on whose behest is this board serving? Isn't it that the king is the one that is supposed to be in agreement with those that is handling the assets of his subordinates. So I think we need to have also legal opinion on the fact of that if the king can prove that the relationship have broken down irretrievably, what then we do in this instance. But it's just something that I'm mentioning because you can get very concerned if a board that is supposed to serve on the behest of the king and his people is having problems with the very same people that must give them mandate. What is going to happen? So what I want to say is that whatever happens, let us approach this with an open mind and let us just go in not having any preconceived ideas, but with the fact that we have been actually empowered by the information that we received up to this point. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Lucas. Is there anyone else who would like to have a take on this?
Yes, Chair, Honorable Adams.
Oh, okay, Honorable Adams.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning to all on the platform. And thank you for this meeting and to all of the members of this committee. May you have a blessed year 2025, and let's all of us empower ourselves and also be blessed with knowledge for this year on the work of Parliament. Chairperson, mine is just a concern. I've listened to the proposal of the minister, and that is my concern. The first proposal of the minister was maybe we must wait until the king is responding. And then he followed to say that we need an investigation on the Ingonyama Trust. Now, if the minister can tell us, was there a time frame until the response from the king? Why I'm raising this is if we don't wait on his responding on the letters between them, him, and we start the investigation, he might go back to the media and inform the media that he wasn't give time to respond, and now there's investigation on the Ngonyama Trust. That is my my concern. The time frame before we start the investigation. Let's clear that part, and if we have that part clear, that he responded, and then we can start. If he don't respond, maybe in 2 weeks, yes, or 14 days, then we can start with his second proposal of investigation. That is my contribution. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, honorable members.
Chair.
Hello, is there a hand again?
Yes, Honorable Mathatsi. Honorable
Okay,
Mathatsi.
Honorable Mathatsi.
And Mkhaga.
And Mkhaga, okay.
Thank you so much, Chair. Court of Africa. Chairperson, I also want to agree with the colleagues that the point of departure is for the chair to write, to request a letter to the king, so that the committee can meet with the king and the minister, so that we remain neutral in all this, but with the purpose of ensuring that the minister and the king, they smoke on the same pipe. And then we go back to our notes or previous meetings where the Ingonyama Trust was presented in our present. And there were complaints about the board wanting to operate independently from Sentin or Saxon World somewhere. Those things we must consider. We must go through all those presentations that we had previously when we go to KZN, so that we understand that exactly what is happening, because there is no way that the board can operate in silos without the instruction or maybe the view of the king. However, the minister must also be respected legally, and his powers must never be undermined. So the point of departure is to write to the king, and as a committee, we ensure that this thing ends peacefully. That is my 2 cents.
Thank you, thank you, Honorable Mahlatse. Honorable Mkhakha.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. Compliments of the season. Pilan wana pagate but good. Chair, I've just joined late because of the network challenges. I was struggling to get in really. But I don't have to. It's not my intention to rehash what honorable members have already shared in the meeting. Chair, mine is to appreciate these developments, understanding that we've been engaging on the matter with the board that was presenting reports on us to us. I thought maybe it's important, just in addition to what honorable members have recommended, to request reports from all those who are involved. Formal reports. And I understand, good morning, Minister and the office. I understand the intervention of the minister, which we must appreciate, the prompt intervention during this period. Allow the department to undergo its own internal processes as required by the law. But at the same time, as a portfolio committee, embark on a journey that we've started of meeting the Majesty. But also add meeting also all those who are involved. And I'm raising this question of the board, whether legitimate or illegitimate, but we must meet them. And therefore I support the letter to be written. But that letter must request reports from all those who are involved. We may attach timelines, 7 days, so that even before we go to meet the minister, at least we do have a perspective from these different stakeholders around these matters that are involved. That would be my addition, Chair, to what honorable members have. Because the key issue for me is to meet physically those stakeholders. And I hear that within the next 2 weeks, there might be that opportunity just to get the confirmation whether there's that understanding on the side of the Majesty, or he has agreed to meet us within this particular 2 weeks, or it's just an assumption that within 2 weeks we'll be meeting the Majesty. That's why I'm saying in between, let's request reports as a starting point of engagement around this particular. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, honorable members. I'm not sure whether there is still another honorable member that would like to actually also have a take. But honorable members, we need to be cognizant of the fact that the minister actually needs to board the plane in the next 10 or 15 minutes. Honorable members, it is indeed true that the issues around the ITB have reached, crisis point. It is also true that things are happening thick and fast. Every day there are new developments, and it is imperative, therefore, that some sort of interventions should actually be made before the matters actually get out of hand. What is more critical is actually to take control of the matters before other people actually muddy the waters even further. You will have read about the intention of some groupings to actually march on the board. And that was actually also going to add, fuel on the raging fire. So I also want to take you on those who actually have appreciated the interventions that the minister has made so far, because it was important for the minister to actually, appear in the picture and say something. But at the same time, I appreciate that at all cost, we should avoid having a public spat with the king, because then we will not be able to resolve these matters. Yes, I will actually be writing to the king. In fact, I heard through the grapevines that his right-hand man, Prince Simpiwe, he actually came to my place looking for me, and unfortunately I was not home on the day. So since the king is in seclusion, then it is not possible to actually raise him now. But since the king is coming out tomorrow, perhaps one would be able to seek an appointment with Prince Simpiwe. But I will actually make sure that the letter actually is written. But sometimes in the royal, situation, letters actually are not sufficient. You need to have a way of, interacting with the people who are close to the king to actually ensure that your request actually gets the priority it deserves. So I think one would actually do that. I think it is also important that we continue with our planned visit. That is one issue that I would like to emphasize. And it is important also that when we visit, we go there with an open mind, because we have to be ultra careful how we actually and where we put our foot in this whole matter. Because it would be bad if the king were to lose confidence in the ability of the committee to actually listen to his concerns and also do something about them. But at the same time, as the minister has said, there are laws in the country and there is nobody above the law. And therefore, the minister, as the executive authority on the Ngonyama Trust and the Trust Board, he has to actually have a role to play. And so far, I just want to appreciate that the minister has actually performed that kind of responsibility. I have been actually avoiding the media, interviews on the issue of Ngonyama Trust, precisely because I don't want to create a situation where I find myself having spoken in cross purposes with the king before we meet him, because then that would actually jeopardize any chances of us meeting with him. So, so that is what I can actually contribute and say in response to what the members have actually said. Honorable Minister, if you're still around, can you actually have the concluding, remarks?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And once more, I want to thank the committee for giving me this opportunity. Secondly, I agree with everything that the committee members are saying. But I can only say to Honorable Adams that no, there are no time frames. We just believe that now that the king is coming out tomorrow, because ours was just to ask for an audience to resolve the matters. Exactly what the chairperson is also going to do. I think we all want one thing. We want a working board. We want a board that works for people of KwaZulu-Natal. We also want a board that respects the king, the sole trustee of the board. So I think we really want one thing, and I think that is going to be achieved if we are taking this route. So I agree with what the members are saying, and we'll see as time goes on. But thank you very much, Honorable Chair, and see you
Well, thank you.
when we come
Yeah,
back. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Honorable Minister. Have a nice journey to Germany. I just hope that you will find strength to deal with the issue of these lawyers, because the elephant in the room are these lawyers. These lawyers are actually have a very concerning influence on the goings on within the within this in this crisis, and they are not being helpful at all. They are not being helpful. So, honorable members, thank you so much for your time. I so wish we could have had a time to delve on the number of issues that actually relate to the Ngonyama Trust, but the minister actually is on his way out. We will find time to actually meet before we meet the king. I'm going to make it a point that we actually do get the audience with the king. Thank you, honorable members.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you. Blessed day.
Thank you.
Chair. Thank you, colleagues. Bye.
We'll keep in touch. We'll keep in touch, honorable members. Thank you so much for your response in such a short notice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair.